Good evening. I'm Jared Miner, a wine enthusiast, reviewer, and wine explorer. Tonight we're pouring, exploring, and experiencing the character, style, and story behind these wines together. So settle in, raise a glass, and let us discover the poetry in the pour. Tonight we're looking at three more Dalat wines from Vietnam. These ones are sweeter and more intense. Dalat is one of Vietnam's best-known wine regions, but it is still a developing wine area rather than a classic European terroir. The region's cool highland image, commercial production scale, and adaptation of grape sourcing and winemaking methods are all important parts of the story. In practice, many wines marketed as Dalat wines reflect a combination of local branding, regional identity, and grapes suited to warmer Vietnamese conditions. Tonight's lineup: Dalat Becco Red Wine Classic, Dalat Becco Sweet Wine Special Quality, and finally, Vang Dalat Strong Wine. Dalat Becco is one of the major producers in the region, and the brand represents the larger scale side of Vietnamese wine production. For this wine, the blend is Cardinal and Syrah. This is medium ruby in appearance. The nose shows red cherry, red plum, and blackberry with a softer fruit-driven profile and a jammy impression, but like a grape jam with a little bit of currant. On the palate, is medium-bodied with moderate acidity, low to medium tannins, and a simple finish showing cherry and plum. This is an approachable commercial style designed for easy drinking rather than complexity. The Dalat Becco Sweet Wine Special Quality. This is a very distinctive Vietnamese wine style because it combines grape wine with local mulberry character. In Dalat and the wider Long Dong region, mulberry has long been part of the agricultural landscape, especially through sericulture, since mulberry leaves were historically used to feed silkworms. What makes the fermentation interesting is the way mulberry changes the wine's profile. It usually deepens the color, adds more berry-driven fruit, and it gives the wine a rounder, softer, sweeter style with mulberry notes, along with a jammy, almost confectionery impression. This is important in Dalat because the region's wine culture develops in a very local way, shaped by farming, fruit production, and consumer preference rather than by classic European models alone. So in this wine, the mulberry is not just an ingredient, it is part of the regional identity. In short, the mulberry gives the wine a more local Dalat identity, a softer texture, and a fruit profile that feels richer and more regionally expressive. This wine shows a deeper ruby color. The nose is more obviously sweet and fruit-driven with ripe blackberry, black cherry, plum, and once more that jammy character of currant and grape jam, but very soft. On the palate, sweetness is the dominant texture. It's the dominant feature, supported by moderate acidity and a soft texture. The finish is straightforward and sweet fruited. I get the cherry, the blackberry, but I do get that currant jamminess. A little bit of choke cherry in the back reminds me of my grandmother's choke cherry jam that she would make. And there was just the ever slightest bit of effervescence on the first sip. This is a simple sweet wine with broad appeal rather than structural complexity as well. And the Vang Dalat Strong Wine. This is the most forceful wine in the lineup, and it should come last. It sits at 15% alcohol. The grape composition is cardinal and mulberry fruit, and the style is built for intensity, sweetness, and fullness rather than varietal precision. In a wine like this, easy ripening grapes that can carry richness and fruit weight are the most relevant stylistically. Often cardinal or other red table wine varieties are involved, and they contribute to the soft red fruit and broad sweetness that suit this style. A practical grape fact here is that grapes used in Vietnam's commercial wines often need to cope with heat, humidity, and variable ripening conditions. That means producers tend to favor varieties that can produce stable color, ripe fruit, and consumer-friendly softness. This wine looks deep ruby, and on the nose, it's intense with ripe black cherry, plum, blackberry, plus a heavier, more forceful overall profile that I would say is primarily the mulberry, and an earthiness that reminds me of oak, though oak was not used in this wine. On the palate, it's fuller bodied, higher in alcohol, shows concentrated ripe fruit sweetness and a persistent finish. It really is almost like drinking grape juice or a reduction that's been drizzled atop vanilla ice cream without any of the notes of vanilla. Overall, this tasting shows the range of styles in Delat wines, from simple and approachable reds to sweeter commercial wines and more premium leaning bottles. Thank you for joining me tonight and sharing in this journey through the class. I'm Jared Miner, and until next time, keep seeking the poetry in the pour.